Hey beauties, good morning again. So yes, this is part 6. I guess hopefully this should be the last part. So the ex-satanist, the pastor, he said in his mind, he said, all right, he will pray for her. He has to do the right thing now as a Christian man. She's seeking prayer and help, so he'll pray for her. But in his head, he probably was saying, I'm going to find a way where him to marry this woman. He said he prayed for her, simple prayer, but profound prayer. God heal her, whatever else she needed, and so on. He said remember her face is deformed through witchcraft. When he opened back his eyes, she became the most beautiful woman. Her face was restored. You see? So in his heart, he's planning one thing, but God already knew what was there. So he just said, you can't stay there thinking she's going to be a wife. But guess what happened, people? There was a buffer. There was a hindrance, an obstacle. The obstacle, she was engaged. But her fiancé was in a different country. And she said to him, can you pray for my fiancé and I? Because every time he used to come for us to get married, something is stopping us. What pity she didn't know that man was not to be her husband. It was this one here. And he said, oh my goodness. Because now he's seen her face. Now he's interested. And he said she's asking for prayer. So he said he just had to go through the motion of praying what she's asking. So he went through the motion of praying what she's asking. And so on. And then, he went on and she left. Every now and again he would see her. He said to her one day, I don't know when to realize that I don't know if she said she and the fiancé broke up, but he said to her one day after a while, he said, God told me that you're going to be my wife. And she laughed and, she just wondered if this man is not thinking because she's engaged. And she didn't take it on. And he said he just left it alone. He was so angry. He said he wanted her to get out of his church because she kind of turned him down. And men sometimes don't like that feeling because God told him a thing. And remember, I'm still learning how to not be controlling. Remember, he's coming from a demonic world. So that fleshly way wouldn't just be gone like that so easily. But I don't think he said he told her, but he felt like telling her, come back to my church, leave me alone, Harsted and Kofat. Anyway, one day one of his congregants came to him and said, Pastor James, you know that there is a deliverance ministry somewhere or another in some other content, some other section in Africa. I thought of you and I would encourage you to go. And he said, deliverance ministry? He said, but I deliver people and pray. Why would I go? But he said he felt that unction to go. And he glad he did. He said he went, but it was a simple deliverance ministry. Nothing where you get in a frenzy, screaming on top of your throat, becoming loud and raucous and, boisterous and so on, or vulgar. The man was just a teacher, very simple, but a powerful man. And while he was there, it was a 7-day thing. Remember what I told you about when the mother had to go for 7 days in the bush, no cooked meals? Right. So something, it's like he got that unction from God. He had to undo a lot of what happened, he said. So he got that unction from God to go in the bushes, not naked, but go into the bushes for 7 days and be consecrated before God. Sort of a situation. And he did it. On the 7th day, he came back, and this was in the evenings after the conference. It's after the conference we're talking about, for him to sleep over. And he would come back every day, first, And he said he found it odd that the man didn't put on a piece of rough bread. Oh, Lord, I said to the lady, no. He never did that. And he stayed another 7 days. Remember that the lady, it's 14 days in total. She did what she did? Yes. So the conference extended another 7 days. And God said to him, do back the same bushes, because he never liked it enough to go sleep in the bush, but he did it. On the 14th day, he said, the pastor at the end of the conference said, Lord, let us have the prayer of deliverance. I pray that you will deliver your people in Jesus' name. He said that was all the man said. Simple, profound, but powerful. Never went in a frenzy and shouted and carried on. He said, beautiful people, that simple prayer that he prayed, he just felt like something pulled him to the altar. He screamed, he hollered, he could not believe it. He was not totally delivered. Remember, as he said, that none of his relationships would work. See, he told a lady that God said, you should be my wife. And she basically laughed and kind of, not really say mocked him, but she didn't take him on. None of his relationships worked. And he said the umbilical cord was still at the place, what his mother had planted there. And he said he hollered, this, that, whatever, however the deliverance, This is after just a simple Lord deliver them, And he said after that deliverance ministry, he said he went in his pocket and he saw his umbilical cord. He couldn't believe it. He didn't know how it reached there. And I should put this interjection. While he was a Satanist, beautiful people, he said, remember that one day his mother at age 9, he went somewhere. And the man said, you don't know, I don't think you understand how powerful your son is. Remember, the evil man is telling her that. And they said, put him in this house. We're going to light the house on fire. And your son is not going to die and burn up. She said, what? He said, you may say, do it. And she did it. And the guy did an astral projection thing. He said, when they moved the ashes of the burned place, nobody was there, nothing. He said, don't worry yourself, your son is at home. When she went home, her son was not a hinge, a scratch, nothing was on him. He was home. Astral projected himself home. I never forgot that. And so on. And he said, no, coming back to his thing. He said the umbilical cord was in his thing. And he said, he just went somewhere and buried everything belonging to the devil, the umbilical cord, something or another. I don't remember what he said. And today he's married for what now? Over maybe 12 going on 20 years by this time. I don't know, and so forth, to the same lady that he said God told him. So his relationship lasted, and he got married. But he said that it took 10 years before his deliverance actually came. So he was a pastor, he was praying for people, delivering people, helping people. People were becoming converted under his ministry, whatever. But 10 years later, before his deliverance came, beautiful people. And he's a full man of God. So listen to me now, beautiful people. I know sometimes in life we come across people in life that they're so evil, they're so wicked, they're so wretched. And let me tell you something, the vilest of sin, if he truly believes, and if that Spirit of God moves upon you to go and pray for somebody, it doesn't matter if you think that they're this or that, you go and you pray for them. Look at what God did with the woman. He said to her, go and pray for this man. And she never wanted to do it, This is a solid Christian girl, But she did it anyway. And the guy now is delivering people for the cause of Christ, for the kingdom of Christ. Because of that. So pray for people. You never can tell what happened. Don't make nobody make you cut off people. That's why I said don't be too quick to cut people off. If they're not gonna make it, they won't make it. No matter how you pray. If God don't decree it, it will not happen. Because there are some people that people pray for and they will not be converted, they will not be transformed. You just have to accept that reality. And that is fine, but you don't know. Because this man, I don't think you understand. In the entire continent, he said he would have been the highest occultic man, which is higher than, it make Obia man look like them a joke. You never see the Obia men were afraid of him. Every time the mother brought him to them, they said, move him. Because this man going to take away our powers, the little what we have. And he was just 9. He never yet reached the occult yet. He didn't even reach the occult according to him. Although witchcraft is like the beginning stages of the whole occultic thingy. You follow what I'm saying to you? Because they're all evil, Don't bother get it different. But there are differences, as I realize. And I believe that. Why I said that? If we notice in it's which book again? Which of the books? But when it talks about, we pray against, when the Bible talks about we do not war against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers. Is Romans 8? I think so. Against principalities, against powers. We're talking evil principalities, evil powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. So yes, you have the devil, but there's a hierarchical structure. You follow what I'm saying? So that is also important to know, my beautiful people. And he had to be fully and completely delivered from all of these things. He said that I remember in the beginning stages, he said he couldn't even be a husband to his wife. I guess, maybe have sexual intercourse and know how to be a husband, because he didn't know a lot of things. He wasn't taught. A demon basically raised him. The mother did lose her mind. The uncle before he died was a drunkard. So he never had any good solid training and background. So he had to learn all over again. How to be, and even learn how to be a husband to his wife. But thank God they're still married. So I guess he had to learn a lot of things. It wasn't easy. It's not God is still a God of order and discipline and, following certain things. So it therefore means that no matter how wretched you think somebody is, or far gone you think they is, or what you think they would have lost, you pray for them and you watch the transforming power of Jesus flow through them. and make them become men and women of God. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.